My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Dr. Martin Kpebu TV3 the key points so achiremwa Ghana in fact baby do no enye post biem what you say was a post na MPP for doubt aba say aputu President Mahama ahead of Baumiana MPP for kuku apaya omoto to ayampia ede money post organizers near honkeka hono or say MPP for our jokes. In fact, we have gone beyond post. Ghana must obi. In fact, must someone tell you say, baby, you do MPP or lose elections na. What's MPP mo lose elections no? Mo amohwe de etomo. Mo amohwe de esi. Sa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebeko Kumasi. Hwe ma menche video baako. Ansa ne ya to asokrampo. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia beko saying. Efense Kumasi na enkramofo programmer omoye na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia edu ho no mo pon ya nka oba beje fans o mampanyina wo no sebe wo se wo ye kramoni anti nka kramofo nto abama na nkramofo no pese o mo kire so look wo kwa wa pen so krampo no nkramofo ye ho kire sin bibia Prophet John Mahama no krampo anasabi onye kramoni no na penso ye ko Mecca akobom paye asre nyame ye boniface ni akayo man krampo boniface at the time na ya boka be 17,000 15,000 to 17,000 and then we need not less than 75,000 Ghana cedis to be able to go there and pray for forgiveness or do whatever we want to do. Oh sorry, I was saying zongo offense almost masa de kanu tum yankɔ ne yankɔhwɛ video no bi na yɛmra na yɛmetoa yɛnkɔmɔ no so sɛ Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia sɛ obi a wo no sɛ bi wo Kumasi na enkrɔfo gu hɔnom na yɛnkɔhwɛ de isiye hwɛ yɛnkɔhwɛ de isiye me pacho sa wankasa wo hwe ade nse de city no me say bobiem de akire wansa ne yakọ video na nkasa so ane ansa ne yakọ Martin Kpebu video na nkasa so no watie nsam ototo mane no me se me sa bobiem wi a me bo omanpanyini Mahama so de ono so kọ enkramofo mu ewo Martin Kumasi Accra ha ne hwe the comparison ye hwe omo a nkramofo agye omatum se gwei ne ye beto aba e de ama no ye hwe ubatisa amanfo tie background ubatisa ibi mko ye hu just the way hooting at him what you say yenko na yenko hwe biem na what the America no ankasa ase yie na wo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia what you say ntino ade an de ajagu na ajagu yenko hwe omampanyini Mahama so de esi ye wo bra ono so ekoye ne nkramofo ekosom ye na yenhwe fence vibration na eno so ekoso ewo hono so wo ankasa wo hu ade John Dramani Mahama de no na wa hwe ade de esiye ma me won kire obi hwe vibration for vibration everybody emrewa mrantie mabawa nkokroa What I say, look at the vibration. Everybody, just say, I say, honum shaky. What I say, it tells you where the wind is blowing to. If the wind of change is blowing, Master, you can't do anything about it. And now Martin Kpebu person or Chelsea, Master, Sanyo when you see Okrom, Yahumbi. But me, I fan, Master, where you hear a fence saying analysis, be a young post to be able to determine who is going to win the elections. You have lost the elections. Mubi bia moye krono, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia krono awa bo man we a free PDS so eba a year fence and more de kwa nencrofoko we free habo any port honum any fence saying nyoma ACC around him nature said Dr. Mahmoud Bamia we are cromfo, we are corrupt. You are corrupt. That is according to a year fence saying Martin Kpebu. Yan koni yenkotie Martin Kpebu nensama okan OTV3. So the key point embra patron se nebe kon message so be subscribe to the channel no one like video no na aboa ma video na atumi akwachi ama foforo so atumi anya bia hwe no ahye ama foforo so enza kumi patron wo adwenchire bia na watchoro edi ato comment section no as yan kohwe video no embra ne yemetwa yan komo no so.
I mean, within this period, the emphasis between the 21st and the 22nd and the 31st of March reflects the pulse of the nation as you see it or as you experience within that period when this poll was conducted.
Absolutely, it does. It does because, people, you see, basically, let's be very clear. The NPP lost the elections, okay, that's the 2024 elections, in the year 2022.
How do you mean?
The year of the cost of living crisis, which we are still experiencing till date. The beginning of so let's say the last quarter of 2021 were shut out of the international capital market, right? So the roosters had come home to roost. We had been binge borrowing, right? 2021, you see the Bank of Ghana statement that we embarked on an expansionary spending policy, which was not sensible. The governor himself stated it in the statement he made. That was in the context of the Bank of Ghana headquarters problem, right? So you see that a government that goes to embark on such binge borrowing in a manner that didn't make economic sense and thereby spiraled into a situation where we're shut out of the international capital market last quarter of 2021 and again in the beginning of 2022. Then you saw how inflation, apart from inflation, the exchange rate, the cedi started depreciating. Free fall. Even to the extent that so beginning of 2022 we're about 6.0, right? By the end, we had gone to anywhere between 14 and 17, right? You see that it gone up. The cedi had fallen. The currency collapsed. And you see in the May, inflation also went up. December 2024, the inflation was what? 54%, 54 point something. How are we going to get out of this? So the main thing is that once we're suffering, and we suffered for that long and are still suffering, it would be extremely impossible to have the NPP remain in power. Because you see that there is a period that has brought over 26 sayings of Bawumia, okay, to naught. He's had to eat back, though he's not officially eating back his words, but in practice we've seen that all his words, all his most poignant economic theses have fallen flat. They've disintegrated. We've arrested the dollar and given the keys to the IG. Well, the dollar is galloping. You see, this year, once again, the cedi hasn't held its own. It's back somewhere above 13.6, right? Back. From the beginning of the year, we are still back in the same trouble. Then it says when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That's it, right? Look at petrol prices. Last week I mentioned it. For the first time in 14 months, petrol has gone up again, beyond what? 14 cedis per liter. Is that not so? And so on and so forth. So you just see that since they just lost control of the economy, beginning most especially in 2022, so this about 2.5 years on, we are in a cost of living crisis. No, they will tell you, we've also borrowed it from the Americans. They will tell you that when it comes to elections, they're saying is the economy stupid? Meaning, generally, people would look at their personal economy. Point is that, has the price of kinky gone down? Has it gone down from 5 cedis? I remember, when the NPP were doing their primaries, the head of the scholarship secretary, the registrar, Kingsley Ajiman, in his constituency, he said he was subsidizing the cost of kinky to 2 cedis. Can you imagine a whole constituency? No wonder not too long ago, I mean, we are still in it. Manasseh came out with the expose in the corruption in the...
going to subsidize 2 cedis?
Yeah, 2 cedis. That's what Kingsley wrote. That he's subsidizing the cost of kinky for a whole constituency to 2 cedis. Where did you get that money from? So you see how the corruption is this caught up with them. So the whole point is that with this kind of economic crisis, with this suffering we are suffering, we can't get proper food to eat, despite what Article 36 of our Constitution has promised us: good governance, maximum welfare, provide adequate living for the citizens, make citizens happy. Oh, I mean, we are not going to be stupid. Because, number one, I voted for Akuffo Addo. Clear, because I thought that this was Junior Jesus. Yeah. How are you going to
expect for him when in 2016
2016.
Yeah, I
2016.
The conversation we had on set.
Exactly. Yes, in the 2020 elections, right? Yeah, I voted for him because I thought that he was the one coming to change everything. Because, naturally, I think with hindsight, I suffered a bias. Because he had been a lawyer at the bar much longer than I'd been. So I think I looked at my personal life and saw what I was doing. I said, then it means that if this man is decades ahead of me, then he must be super. Hey, Sana, it doesn't follow. There's no logic in it. No. Because you see, with hindsight, Muhammad that didn't have Akuffo Addo's kind of track record. Hindsight, we've seen that he's a better leader. Because, like I always like mentioning, 3 main indicators: corruption perception index, democracy index, and then press freedom. All these 3, Mama is done better than Akuffo Addo. So what is left? You say. So with the retrogression in our democracy, made worse by the cost of living crisis. No. Come on.
You don't believe that things will turn around before election 2020, December 7?
It's too late.
8 months?
It's too late. Because you see, the inflation rate for March, it went up. It went up. So it's too late. It's not going to happen. Myself, I've been watching, say that, hey, is the economy going to turn around enough? You see, as for the books will always show, an improvement here and there. But the bottom line is that, has the price of kinky gone down? Has the price of cocoa gone down? Less than 3 cedis? Mr. Okanse or anybody, honorable, in your constituency, has the price of cocoa gone down since the beginning of the year? No. Has the dollar come this, or let's say, has the cedi gone up?
Period.
Yes, because March inflation from the statistical service is gone up.
Inched up. Yes.
It's inched up. It's inched up. So that even throws into doubt the forecast they made that by December will be at 15%. No. Of course, let's be very careful. It's not only in Ghana here that the March one. I followed the US one. Yes, for March, the inflation also went up 0.4%.
But they are hoping for a buffer.
But if you look at, you see, the factors, but the factors that influences the increase are different. You see, so even though you see inflation going up in the US, in the UK, and other parts of Europe, if you drill down the data, you will know, for instance, in Ghana, food inflation was one of the major drivers for this increase. Food prices. And then also transportation.
Excellent.
And we're having transport fares going up at least since the last 2 days or so. So you don't even have to be an economist
and Alfred, don't forget,
that
we're not paying our debt.
So absolutely,
we're not paying our debt. So there's an artificial
exactly on the exchange rate. So when we begin to pay, the city is going to fall flatter, right? Yeah. So all of these feed into the polls that the info analytics Musa Dankwa is done. And look, and you see, if you want to see the real practical side of this election, did you see Baumia and Kumasi? The one he was in the this what do you call it? The convoy. He stood out waving. Few people wave back. Did you see? Do we need to play?
They were indifferent. A lot of people were indifferent.
Please play it. Let people see.
We have that video.
Yes, so that we watch. That's the post. What Mr. Dankwa is that for? It's not what. Just play it. You see how the people stood there were watching. It's like, Master, you've made your family better. Now your family can afford to take scholarships and not even £17,000. You fall sick, you can't even call the school. You can't put in and defend the cost. £17,000. Look, like I keep saying, Baumia and his family, Samira, his family, they must pay back that money. The files that
no.
This personal money. What are you talking about?
Talk about family.
They have to pay by his family. However, they will raise that money. You have to pay back that. What buyers? They are the ones that vote. You have never voted for Mahama. I've never voted for Mahama.
No, you can't say that.
So if it's my vote is with.
I haven't seen your vote.
Oh, but people know me.
Don't take it personal.
Don't
take it personal.
People know me.
Yes.
So the point is that, look, that £17,000, they have to pay back. However they are, because otherwise, Bamia, you have no message.
We're going to
if you can't control your family, you take our £17,000. Yes, you take our £17,000, you give to a British school, you are sick, Fauzi Ramadan, you can't defer the cost. You just throw 17,000. Do 17 times what? 17,000 times. Somebody should calculate it for me.
Okay.
After all the noise, people are not angry about this. They will pay it. Or maybe if you want to pay for them, you are welcome. But please don't call that personal because that's an insult to us. Honorable, when you're on this kind of show, you should be mindful of that. You call 17,000. 289,000. With 289,000. Saudi Ramadan.
Are you telling me
200? You know what that can do in your constituency.
How do you tag that to Baumia?
All right. But that's his wife's brother.
The person you are talking about is an adult. How is that Baumia take responsibility for that?
Okay. But is that not his wife?
Something petty.
You call that petty?
Yes.
Also, he would have resigned.
How can he resign?
£17,000.
How
289, 2.8 billion.
The person you are talking about is an adult and must be taking.
Thank you very much.
Responsibility.
Was the wife not campaigning? My husband is a wasted.
Thank you.
My husband is an economic wasted. They have
So
stolen your money.
Talk about so it's.
I'm going to rebut to distance. I can't let it go.
That conversation about that you say you want to respond. What exactly are you responding to?
I mean, lawyer is making an argument that I thought we were looking at the polls, but he has gone on to talk about performance and even making an emphatic statement that Mohammed's performance is far better than Akuffo Addo.
In fact, the polls also captured some performance analysis.
It cannot be the case.
Okay.
It cannot be the case.
Why?
I mean, there are. If you are going to analyze a government and its performance, there are various aspects to which you can analyze it.
Okay.
In terms of the economy, what was the GDP growth at the time Mahama was living? Even in our worst situation today, we have been better than the situation Mahama was.
No, what was the GDP growth rate when Mahama was living?
I mean, it's public information.
No. What was the GDP?
It's public information.
Wait.
It was less than 3%. It was less than 3%. I am saying that the GDP growth and our worst situation today is better than Mahama's situation at the time of 2016. In terms of education, Akuffo Addo's policies and the impact it has on the Ghanaian youth, I mean, it's so massive. Free secondary education, you are telling me this is a policy that has affected the ordinary Ghanaians across the country. Non-discriminatory. In terms of the economy, let's be honest, there is a global turn down. It is not just exclusive to Ghana. It is not exclusive to Ghana.
No, are you
because of the COVID situation all over the world. Tell me any country that economy has not gone down. Tell me one.
Are you ascribing the state of our situation now to the Russia, Ukraine, and COVID-19?
All of that has affected our economy, just like any other country. No, and I'm asking asking my lawyer to tell me any country since COVID occurred, any country in the world whose economy is now better than it was before COVID.
Wait,
tell me one.
I'm saying that is that
every country's economy has been affected. Every country's economy has been affected.
Yes.
The US,
their economy has been affected. Even banks have closed down in the US.
How many banks?
Banks have closed down in the US.
Banks? The Silicon Valley, there were 2 banks.
It doesn't matter. Even if it's one. Even if it is
And who
one.
says it was the COVID?
So what? I mean, so if it, what do you mean? I am just telling you that
look,
the
inflation.
economic downturn.
Look, let me tell you, even inflation, out of their problems, they didn't go beyond 10%. UK, US,
but
your inflation went to 54%.
There was an increase.
Your inflation
But there
went
was
to
an increase in the
54%.
US.
But they have since recovered.
Every economy there has been depletion in their
thank you.
economy.
Look, Ukraine is
Thank
back
you.
producing more goods. Even Ukraine, where the war took place, you know, they are still exporting.
I am just
and
saying,
we are still
I am
importing
just
even from
saying
Ukraine.
that
So
before
what
COVID,
is this? What is
Ukraine's
this?
situation today is
Even
worse than it was before the war.
Ukraine, where the bombs are,
But
they
you
are still
cannot say the
exporting
situation is the
grain.
same.
Ukraine, where the war is,
But
the
is
bombs
Ghana-
are
is
landing.
Ghana economy
They are
down
still
completely?
producing enough and exporting.
Ghana's
You
economy-
that
All right.
you are not
Lawyer
in
Martin
Ukraine.
Kpebu, thank you.
can't even.
I am
feed
just
your
telling
people.
you that
You can't
there is
feed the people.
there is no country
Over
in the
3
world.
million
that
Ghanaians
is
are
economic.
hungry.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Now, I need to,
If I can make
just to be clear, I'll come to you, and I know Musa will have to leave us as well. But look, there's no doubt that Russia, Ukraine, and COVID-19 impacted our economy, but that cannot be the only reason why. Even the IMF's own report, and this is one thing that is public document or information that you can find.
But I have never
on the
said,
IMF's
that those are the only reasons. Have I said that?
I see. So what are the other reasons?
Have I said those are the only reasons?
This advocated or articulated any analysis?
The point I have made, I'm trying to make, and to let my brother understand is that every countrountry's economy all over the world has been affected since COVID and
well, thank you. But you don't know. Quickly, yes.
Let me make a submission. You know, the point that Martin said about Vice President, I don't want to get into that argument, but the point that Martin said about the Vice President relative having behaved in a manner that is unethical, so to speak, all right, and elsewhere they would have resigned. It's true.
Indeed.
Look, when you go to the US and the UKs and all those Scandinavian countries, people's relatives have been found to have done things that are not appropriate, and they've taken responsibility because they must recognize that their relative is in a higher position, and so their conduct actually affects the integrity of such a person. I mean, we're here when you have ministers, singularly taking decisions that the president even doesn't know. At the end of the day, don't you say that the president has failed? You were in this country when Victoria Hammer was even having a conversation about her 1 million adventure or her 1 million
just
dream, all right? But we visited the president, with that particular. So we must be mindful as public figures of what our relatives. Look, I have personally asked my nephew to leave my class to another class because I didn't want to have anything to do with, conflict of interest. All right, because there were about 3 or 4 different classes that I could teach that particular course, and he was in my class. I asked him because if you make A, I don't win. Obviously. If you make D, I don't win. And so we must start getting that consciousness, that public consciousness that ethical conduct when you're in higher office does not only relate to you, your relatives, etc., and their conduct would affect your integrity. And so we have to actually stick to those things.
Prof.
But thank you. I think that
just a little point.
Thank you. I think that I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
No, I just wanted to.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you on it because I had you respond to what Lawyer Martin Kpebu said for good reason. You had reactions. You stated it. What Professor Kobe Mensah has talked about is just to put the issues within a particular context to also, as it were, add another layer to what Lawyer Martin Kpebu was saying. That is not a substantive issue.
Lawyer Martin Kpebu ano ne nsamani akofa ade abro the key point TV3 program omoye no so ene ye akobrewu na ne wutia in fact emu da ho clear we emu da ho clear what you say enye obi ne be ka kire wo say babia adru ne ye hia post ne ho ade yes post ne de it guys us my some idea as to where our loopholes be war and I say your weaknesses be what they are working on it. Meaning say NDC are working on it. The lives of a year general chairman as you do enketia I know he will work towards those offense and weaknesses na wahu ewo ayinmu no na wama eye offense saying national organizer eye Joseph Yanmi Mone Mustafa Gandemu ene omo maka general secretary. They are going to work tirelessly to make sure say ombe fixing the weaknesses baby your weaknesses no. They will make sure sir or say ombe to me are working on it ama NDC atumi abon home modern was our areas so because NDC omonya adamant if I so nya den omotin some say omotin nyoma and they believe in offense and research methodologies amamfo eyusu ewo krom ha. In fact made me catch say even at the time me can say a year at the time NDC for a war power no kra no samobe kaya na obe di no kra say NDC for na omo like they don't dispute a year polls there be no more yes ade no what I say na NDC for entire yes ade no until say 2020 elections no more Mr. Ben Efson started with the post be a feel obey namha obey nama say the credibility no Akuffo Addo to say the latest one here who kromu ya abase baumia na ebe wini elections no you say the outcome they been recent they been ohwe omo post na nyo obi never catch us say post yi de eni nyina so bia because post a yebeye na yemfa methodology a omo de ye omo mfa data na ma out omo mfa like sample size na ma. How do you trust this post? What I say compare some of the polls are amount for a conduct ukrum ha to the global info analysis for so which means say vast difference kesiye pa. What I say global info analysis for to me yema wan kasa hu say ade no questions biara doubt or no, they provide those answers. They provide you with things that you can read and know. Say, oh okay. What I say, eti post the enkenye at the bonny and yet at the bonny you bet me I can say and say, but say ene baby a system no akudru no and no now lawyer Martin Kpebu chere say there be ye hia saade no ye hia post kra to tell us say ene petrol price ekosoro ye hia post to let Ghanaians know say baby yadru no inflation ekosoro ye hia post to let people know say cement born in almost 100 Ghana cedis as compared to about 20 cedis Mahama's time ene ye hia post to let any Ghanaian know say dollar and 13 point something equal 14%. Mobekaya 2016 Dr. Mahmoud Baumia lectures or yenu krumha or can it plain or say if the fundamentals are weak the exchange rates will expose you. What you see and then the exchange rate the fundamentals whatever has exposed them. Ye here post be to let anybody know. Entina ne kasa emuno or did Dr. Baumia or Kumase na nkramofo mo program on so called bia I think or perceive or fans are fans no anchor fans here you who yes you be who because look people are worried, people are crying, people are angry omubuafu because wo crampa wo sabio so ye kramoni wo na manfo de omura hye mu senka obetumi aye bibi ama omo no wo wa pen so kra na nkramofo esomo no chese ahokere kra bam what you say e ba na sa nkramofo no omo nji wundi because mahama time kankramoni or come Mecca was spending about 17,000 Ghana cedis and ne ajis okuta not less than 75,000 Ghana cedis. What you say enti uhwe kamoni na no do compare even Christoni na no what otiso na ohwa de na obeka fa wo kamoni no obeka se no you kamoni na wo ye no che say wo ye no by math. What you say you haven't done anything ebetumi amakramofo ahu say like oba ebebo mo ba he na mo ti zongo ministry say ba be hwe nkramofo communities ne ho ade zongo ministries no andi 3 years na mo collapse no mo gu no and the zongo ministry be any hobium maguno and ka obi afi say oh Dr. Bawumia buy no create zongo ministry ni and one ade kankramofo ni beji say oh you are doing something right, you are at least getting them a ministry that will see to their needs near nyoma eduru honomo no wa maye de but ekosi saying ye to abawie 2020 elections no ape mo se nkramofo anto amamo enti no etisa de amakulapse no maguno ena mugu no ayi Canada Japan betna Oman FM can the place or no yes on koye Oman penny Akuffo Addo enko no onye developmental work bia wo zonko community bia because they didn't vote for them. How can you speak like this? What you say obe can plane or kaya ni na he na Oman penny Akuffo Addo e collapse zongo ministry no o collapse no never you fence Mustafa Amidi ananko ye omo minister or no you know edna petroleum whatever. What I say enti nkramofo adesanyo man to ho ehun say no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on fata say odi anim because sabio say kramo Kristo ni mpo ono nye kramoni no etumi hweye ma ye make sure say nkramofo a ewo krom ha ebetumi ehun ato mo ne ehun keka ho a adenti na such a person yemfa na ma ho no hwe say obeboa ama nkramofo susu nis ne omo ahia de ne nyomo ebeboa mo no emaso. Politics is not about religion, politics is not about tribe, politics is not about somebody who relates with you or not. Politics is about nation development. It's about seeing to the development of the people, of the well-being of the people. That is politics. It is a Kobane say, mo ye nyoma emwa ye politicians like the ordinary Ghanaian now. Yes. Said ye tie biano, they will, fight you. They are going to attack you. They are going to, discredit you. And no na to Dr. Bawumia said never Dr. Mwa kramoni na wonam nkramofo dwabo ase na yehuru ye si hu fair ye ni wo ade ni kwan say ye ka ho asam de bon like fair. What you say, you are not representing the plight of the ordinary Muslim. What you say, Dr. Martin Kpebu person kire say baby ya dunu masa forget about posts. Yes, posts then the you bet me at the share na ye analyze some things to work on our weaknesses and whatever. But see ye kasi ye komu pa dia masa obi ani baby o man no eko enti e wo say ye de o man no eko hye o manpeni John Dramani Mahama nsa. That is what Dr. Martin Kpebu eka e wo TV3 so aha a PENDREAM TV and make sure also subscribe to the channel na wa like video no eso so e dia man no wa share ama foforo so atumi anya bi ahwe na wo adwenche bi so na wo da to comment section no ase e di amaye PENDREAM TV yese edamu yopo
Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV de ose edam yopo